Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today I will attempt to make a build guide for Revenant, but a bit of a disclaimer before we start. I love the Warframe. I love them ever since he came out, and he slowly became my comfort pick, and I basically take him everywhere. Kuva, Sortie, Index, Arbitrations, you name it, Revenant can do it, but yes, he does have some serious limitations. Let's talk about damage, since everybody loves damage. That will come from your 4 ability Dance Macabre. He's gonna start spinning around like a Beyblade, and you can pump up the damage and the range of the beams by holding down your left click or your right trigger on your controller. Of course, increasing the damage will also increase the energy drain as well. Now, the damage this thing does will adapt depending that the enemy that is hitting. So you're gonna see like gas damage or magnetic damage on corpus units. You're gonna see corrosive against the corrupted heavy goons. You're gonna see radiation on bombards, and so on and so forth. This is what gives Dance Macabre this amount of power. But again, it is limited. Revenant falls off roughly around level 140, 160 level enemies, depending on the enemy, of course, since corpus are a lot easier to kill than something like heavily armored Grenier. So that's the damage in a nutshell. His tankiness and survivability is twofold. First off, probably his best ability, Mesmer Skin, that is your second ability. You're gonna get a couple of stacks depending on how much power strength you have on your build. I got about 215, something like that, and I get 13 stacks. Now, per stack, all damage that you take from an attack, from a bullet, let's say for example, will be redirected, and the target that attacked you will be stunned for a couple of seconds depending on how much duration you have on your build. Now, you're gonna be able to get your shield back and your health using your free ability, and you just go through enemies. Now, the ability is called Reave. The problem with this ability is the fact that it does kind of have a wind up to it if you use it like this. Okay, if you use it like this, it's a bit slow, and keep in mind I have natural talent on the build right now. So normally, what do you do with Revenant? As soon as the mission starts, first thing you do is activate your 2 ability, because that's your survivability, and then you go into your 4. Depending on the level and the targets that you're facing, you can even pump up the damage, and as you can see, Revenant can completely annihilate level 120 corrupted heavy goons without much issue at all. And the damage was corrosive. You probably saw a couple of procs here and there. Now, let's talk about his first ability. You know that certain Warframes have dead abilities, right? Now, I don't want to call Enthrall a dead ability. It's useful if you want to solo play and make yourself a zombie army and all whatnot, but from my humble point of view, an ability this slow should not exist in a game like Warframe. We're dynamic, we're fast-paced and all whatnot, and this one just simply breaks up the pace. I don't like this ability, I don't recommend it. From my point of view, you can skip it entirely, unless you're a solo player. In that case, you can try to make something like an Enthrall build and all whatnot. His passive ability will grant you a bit of useful crowd control, but you should definitely not rely on this one for your survivability. Rely on stacks of Mesmer Skin. Now, we're going to be jumping into the quote-unquote final build. Please don't be overwhelmed by the number of forma. You do not need 8. Honest, you only need 7, but hold on, that's not the point. While you're getting to grips with the Warframe and seeing if you like him or not, if you like what he has to offer, you can simply skip Umbral whatever and Prime whatever and just replace them with the normal versions of Vitality, Flow, Intensify, and Continuity. For the aura, we got growing power, but this one only if you want to max Revenant out. While you're playing around with him, simply use corrosive projection or whatever you have handy, and that's 1 format down from the get-go. This slot you can skip entirely. Power drift is not a huge benefit. It's only 15% ability strength, and believe it or not, you're gonna get a lot more benefit out of the 30% chance to resist knockdown, especially if we're talking about higher level targets such as arbitrations. Continuity duration for your 4 ability, yes, it will matter on the drain. Prime Flow, I believe, is self-explained. Simply use Flow. If you got a larger energy pool, you're going to be able to spin around for longer periods of time, allowing you to pick up more energy balls and get your energy back. Vitality. If you're going for lower level content, you don't even need Vitality. Again, your survivability comes from your second ability. But as soon as the level goes over 60, 70, 80, then you are gonna need Vitality so you don't get one-shotted in that small gap of casting your second ability. Intensify, of course, for power strength, and also Transient Fortitude for power strength. Now, you can't go Blind Rage because you're gonna nuke your efficiency, which will kill your 4 ability. But you can go for Transient Fortitude. Now, the ability duration will affect your 1 ability, which, to be honest, we don't really care about, and it's also gonna affect the stun duration from your Mesmer Skin, so bear that one in mind. Now I already know what you're thinking. Dude, quickly, max out Streamline and one from the top, Fleeting Expertise, because the cap, because the, well, really? Now, well, have a look at this, guys, because I thought the exact same thing as you, of course. Energy per second right now is 5. That's the drain, right? Energy per second, 5. If I was to switch out Fleeting Expertise, put one from the top, and put a fully stacked Streamline, it goes higher. Even though it shouldn't. I'm still capped, 175, but it does. So, there you go. This is the reason why we're going like this. And you might see the odd mod there, and that's gonna be Natural Talent. Why are you using Natural Talent? It doesn't do anything for my 4 ability. I'm not spinning faster, which is what I hoped initially when Revenant came out, that with this one we're gonna be able to spin faster. Spinning faster will automatically mean more damage per second, but no, it doesn't do that. This one is here, believe it or not, for survivability. That gap when you cast your 2 ability is a bit on the long side, and in Arbitrations or Elite Sanctuary Onslaught you might hit the dirt before you get your cast off to get your stacks on. Believe it or not, I lost count how many times Natural Talent saved my derriere, so I do recommend you give this mod a try. But if you're not going for higher level content, you can swap it out with whatever you feel comfortable with. Maybe something like Hunter Adrenaline or Rage to get your energy back. Although on Revenant, these mods don't really work all that well. The best way to get your energy back, unfortunately, I'm sorry, is with Arcane Energize R3. Now let's see the build in action one more time, only this time we're not gonna stop at 8 Corrupted Heavy Goons, we're gonna go for 20, level 140, because basically this is the highest I can spawn. Of course, no paused AI, no funny business, once again activate my 2 ability and just simply go to town, like so. Now normally in a mission you will have something with fetch, okay, something with fetch or something with vacuum, so you get the ball sucked in and you get your energy back. But as you can see, as long as you have that Arcane Energize, you're really not gonna have much of an issue. Unfortunately, Hunter Adrenaline and Rage don't work as well as having Arcane Energize, but there you go. And I believe, my friends, that is pretty much it, with one little exception. What I want to do is also talk about Index. If you want to play Revenant as a tank in Index, you can definitely do so, but we should adapt the build just a little bit, because we no longer need the efficiency, okay? We're not going to be doing this as a tank. What we want is more stacks of Mesmer Skin, and to get more stacks of Mesmer Skin, what we will need is more power strength, so you can go about it with something like this. Of course, increased mobility for a tank is fantastic, and we got 312% power strength, which will be resulting in about 18 stacks of Mesmer Skin. Now, I didn't use Natural Talent on something like this simply because normally in Index, at the very least, what I do is kind of hide and just reactivate my Mesmer Skin. Now let's see if we can survive or not. I'm just gonna kind of like stand in the middle and not do anything to these targets. You can play a carrier without any issue at all. Come and hit me, boys. Come and hit me. Don't you want to shoot me? Shoot me! I'm here. You don't want to shoot? Shoot! There we go. Finally, they woke up. Shoot me, please. I'm not gonna try to stun them or anything like that, not even gonna cast my free ability. I'm just gonna reactivate Mesmer Skin. And keep in mind that you should never really let Mesmer Skin go down to 0. You don't really need to do that. You can activate it before. For example, let's say you have only 2 or 3 little stacks remaining, just simply reactivate it and you're gonna be all good. Or reactivate it when you get behind a corner and you know you're gonna be safe, something like this. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you have any sorts of feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below, if you guys want to suggest or recommend a particular piece of content. Now, in all honesty, I can't exactly promise you that it'll be done by next time or even within a week, as sometimes these things can take a bit of time to make, but I can promise you that I will be reading through each and every comment. You can also find me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.